Hey everyone, welcome to another HP Gaming GameLINK video. Today we've got something extra special for you because it is launch day and we're going to jump right back into it. We're going to be donning our superhero costumes, sharpening our tools and tricks of the trade, and taking on a brand new campaign for Marvel Champions, the card game, The Rise of Red Skull. Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Matt and this is of course
Charlotte.
And as we've said, we are here on launch day to unbox a very special deluxe expansion to Marvel Champions, the card game. Now, for those people who don't know what Marvel Champions is all about, Charlotte, you want to give us a bit of a rundown about Marvel Champions, the card game?
So we've done like a video of Marvel Champions and you might have watched it, but some of you out there haven't watched it. You can go on YouTube and watch our video and see all the characters.
Yeah, you can go and check it out. We'll wait. Go now. No, not really, just kidding. Okay, so yeah, we've done a couple of playthrough videos, or I've done a couple of playthrough videos as well. Marvel Champions is from Final Fantasy Games. It is a living card game, so they release expansions on a regular basis that allow you to have multiple customization options for your heroic characters, and you can lay the hurt on those supervillains. We are going to get in close and show you all 256 cards in this deluxe expansion. There are 2 new heroes to play as with 2 pre-constructed decks.
But we won't tell you.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? But this also has not just the 2 heroes, it also has 5 supervillains to fight, 5 scenarios, and something very, very special that has been missing from Marvel Champions, which is a campaign mode.
Daddy, I have a question.
Yes.
Could we play this box with the Marvel Champions one?
Well, this is an expansion for the Marvel Champions game. So you can't play this on its own. You do need the Marvel Champions core set. Yes. But I think you didn't come here to see us, did you? No, you came here to see what's in the box. So let's open her up and we'll talk about it.
Yeah. There are some villains that I don't know that I haven't, and Daddy has been showing me some Star Wars and I have seen.
It's not Star Wars, this is Marvel stuff. So what we're going to do, first things first, let's take the plastic off of here. Okay, where's it go?
On the floor.
Plastic goes on the floor. We're getting close to give you a close-up of what's in the box here. First and foremost, though, the artwork is just amazing. Very excited to see what Hydra has in store for our intrepid heroes as we open up the box. So let's get in close. All right, so first things first, let's just pop the box in here and let's just admire the artwork. Charlotte, what do you think? Doesn't it look amazing? Very comic booky style, but that's okay, we love it.
I see an octopus.
Yeah, and what's the octopus represent? Remember Daddy talked about the different factions? Guys. The bad guys are known as Hydra. Hail Hydra. Okay, which is very cool. Artwork on the box is just absolutely sick. Yeah. It's a much smaller box when you can compare it to, let me just see if I can grab this from here. Let's go side by side. So the Marvel Champions box won't even fit in the frame because it's so much larger. That is the core box. Those of you that remember opening the core box for the first time, there was a lot of space for cards and dividers and things as well. The only downside with the Marvel Champions core box, there was no dividers in this. I'm hoping there'll be some storage stuff in here and it won't just be all loose product, but we'll see how we go. Oh, it's a tight box.
Yeah, it's small.
I'm going to open this one off. Let's put that over there. My goodness. Oh my goodness, there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff in here. Okay. So let's see what we've got here. We've got a rule book, which is going to have obviously the breakdown of all the different components, including campaign mode, I hope. We're just going to flip this straight over here. Ooh. See, this is a player log for the campaign notes.
1, 2, 4. What?
Yeah, because you've got different scenarios you can play. You can play this in order so that you can have different heroes and you can have different resources. They can get technical gadget upgrades. You can see here tech upgrades, basic upgrades, rescued allies, obligations, remaining hit points from mission to mission to mission, And then you've got different scenarios and things here where you can add experimental weapons to encounter decks. So it's obviously some overarching things that can carry over. First things first though, let's have a look and see what's in the instruction book here. We talk about villains, extra villain cards, new keywords, new modes of play, the set symbol for the cards.
0.
Yeah, that one there, that's the campaign only cards. So there are cards in this box that are specific to campaign mode. And the comic, look at that.
That is so cool.
This talks about the different storylines, how it all sort of works.
Yeah.
Comic books and things. I think what we'll do, let's not go through that because it's going to be potentially some spoilers for other people who might be watching. So we'll put that to the side. We've got this white card here, which is actually good. It's keeping everything a bit secret from what's underneath, but it doesn't really serve any other purpose, I don't think. So we'll get rid of that one. Charlotte, you want to get rid of that one for me? And reveal, ooh, cards, and more cards. Funny that, because it's a card game. All right, this one, now you remember what the cards are for this one? They're encounter cards. Put those to the side. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look at more encounter cards. We've got, it looks like another player deck here.
Ooh, I've got the villain card.
You've got, that's Crossbones, first and foremost. The artwork, again, as we expect, is fantastic. And I think they're a bit of a mix. They're a bit of a mix. Well, I knew it's going to be 256 different cards. So we'll pop the box here. Just while we're here as well, I just want to show everyone the back of this thing because it's just so sick.
Oh, and those are all the bad guys here.
That's it.
Red Skull,
Arnim Zola, Taskmaster, Absorbing Man, and Crossbones. And you can play them scenarios as standalone. I'm just going to put that there because it just looks awesome.
Yeah.
You can play the scenarios as standalone, but I think, yeah, campaigning is going to be the way to go. Let's have a look and see what we've got. We're going to open up this one first.
Yeah, and then I can show it.
Yep, so we're going to show off the cards and have a look. And then, Charlotte, what I want you to do is have a think about which hero you want to take into the fray first.
There's only 2.
Well, there's 2 in this box, but there's all the other heroes that we've got from the other core sets and hero packs. So you have to think about which heroes you'd like to see team up. Now, the first hero we're going to have a look at is Hawkeye. He's got a cool little dude with his shades and his symbol there as well. So what do you reckon, Charlotte? He's got a special action where you can exhaust Hawkeye and ready the bow. What do you think? You're deep in thought at the moment. If you'd see Charlotte, she's deep in thought. Hawkeye's bow, 2 restricted cards per player. Your hero gains 1 attack for each of your arrow attacks, gains attack range attacks don't retaliate. Hawkeye's quiver, look at all those arrows, fully stocked. You've got it?
Yeah. Well, I haven't played the new Hulk, and I like.
Oh, no, you haven't yet. No, you haven't. We need to do that.
Oh, I just don't know.
Okay, we've also got a new Mockingbird card, it looks like.
Whoa, Mockingbird.
So yeah, new Mockingbird. So Mockingbird was in the original core set, but this one's a different version of her. That I think she has an extra thwart action from memory. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. And she's got some interrupt abilities. We've got a sonic arrow. The flavor text on the card. Eee! Exhaust Hawkeye's bow, confuse an enemy and deal 3 damage to it. 5 damage already if it's already confused. Explosive arrows. I have a feeling Hawkeye's going to have a lot of arrow cards to use to attack. Yeah, that's it. Then you've got here electric. Look at that. Ooh. Look at that. Electric arrow. Zap. That's cool. You see?
Oh my gosh.
Exhaust the bow, stun an enemy and deal 3 damage to it. Now that means unless you've got something that can unexhaust the bow, you're only going to really be able to use 1 arrow attack per turn.
Yeah.
The cable arrow, remove 3 threat from a scheme, ignoring any crisis actions in play, which means you can attack the main threat or the main scheme without having to go through those. Vibranium, look at that one. Vibranium arrow. Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Deal 6 damage to an enemy and this attack gains piercing. So if they've got armor or a tough status card, it can go straight through. So this is going to be good, particularly if you were taking on someone like Rhino who has a lot of adding tough status cards to their attacks. Resource, exhaust expert marksman and generate a wild resource for an arrow event. So you have to be careful that you're only generating for arrow events. Hawkeye Kate Bishop. So you could effectively bring in the Kate Bishop version of Hawkeye. And she's an Avenger, obviously. She allows for extra bits and pieces. Black Knight is in play. Look at that. The artwork on card games at the moment is absolutely sensational. Goliath, US Agent, Sky Cycle attached to an Avenger ally. That ally gains the aerial trait. Team training, max 1 per player. Each ally you control gets 1 hit point. That's very handy if you've got a deck with lots of allies in it. So look, and Spider-Woman, ready for action. Give an ally you control a tough status card. So you can use them to power up a bit and lead from the front. Choose a player. Each character that player controls gets 1 thwart and 1 attack until the end of the phase. Wow, very cool. Power of Leadership, which gives you wild resources. Oh, War Machine. Look. That's cool. Avengers Tower, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Exhaust an Avenger character you control to ready another Avenger character you control. That's cool. And the standard energy cards that give you resources. Now, the obligation for Clint Barton, this is his criminal past obligation for the encounter deck. And then you've got here Crossfire, who's a mercenary. Crossfire's attacks all gain piercing. Ouch. And then you've got here Marked for Death. When revealed, the Clint Barton player searches their hand, deck, discard pile, and play area for Mockingbird and places her face up beneath this card. When this stage is defeated, return Mockingbird to her owner's hand. And then you've got Crossfire's Rifle, which is a weapon attack, gives +2 attack. Sniper Shot, place 3 threat on the main scheme or 3 damage to your hero. Ouch. And of course, for those of you who don't know who Clint Barton is, Hawkeye's alter ego is Clint Barton. Look at him chilling in his car on this card. Yeah, he would have a sweet ride, I think. He was very cool. Weapon of choice. Spend 1 resource of any type, search your deck and discard pile for Hawkeye's bow and add it to your hand so he can bring his bow out really early. That's cool. Hit points of 9, hand size is 6, but then when you're Hawkeye, hand size is 5 and hit points is 9. So that's the Hawkeye deck. We might put that just there. What do you reckon? Yeah? All right. Do you want to have a look at Spider-Woman?
Yeah, and you can show the other two while I look at Spider-Woman.
All right. Well, we'll have a look at Spider-Woman together so we can show everybody what the cards are. More and more plastic. There we go. What do you think of that Spider-Woman, Charlotte?
Oh, she looks like a real spider.
A real spider? Look at those web wings she's got there. Yeah. And she only has 1 attack, though. Only 1 attack. I would have thought she'd do more damage. But she does have 1 defense and 1 thwart for the scheme. She does have superhuman agility. When you play an aspect card, now this is the cool thing about Spider-Woman, I'll talk about in a minute. When you play an aspect card, Spider-Woman gets +1 thwart, 1 attack and 1 defense until the end of the round. Limit once per round for each aspect. Now, usually when you play a game, you've got to choose 1 aspect. So Hawkeye has the protection aspect, but here we've got different aspects from the aggression and protection, or leadership I should say, protection and justice as well. So you could have 2 different aspects you can play as to really combine cards, and that's something that's unique to Spider-Woman, which is awesome. Hand size 5, hit points 11. Her alter ego is Jessica Drew, and she's a double agent. Hence, I guess the double aspect, which is very cool. Choose 2 aspects instead of 1 during deck building. There you go. You must include an equal number of cards from those aspects. Action, look at the top card of any deck. Limit once per round, so you can help other players know what's coming up. Oh, who's that?
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. She's one of your favorites, isn't she? And this is just an ally version of Captain Marvel. So it's interesting too, the different decks and different heroes utilize heroes from other character packs and things as well, which is awesome. Finesse. Exhaust Finesse, generate a wild resource for an aspect card for any aspect card. Wow, okay. So you can't use that for basic, obviously. Exhaust Jessica Drew's apartment, search the top 5 cards of your deck and add a card to your hand. Venom Blast. Wow, deal 5 damage to an enemy. This card is both a Spider-Woman card and an aggression card.
Spider-Woman.
Pheromones, stun and confuse an enemy. and a leadership card. So they've got cross-referencing cards for different aspects, which is great. So that's good for your deck building, because you could use those cards as a Spider-Woman card and then put more leadership or aggression cards in your deck. Deal 3 damage from Spider-Woman, give her a tough status card, very good. Contaminant immunity. Inconspicuous skill, thwart. Remove a total of 3 threat from among any schemes in play. Very, very handy. If you're playing with multiple schemes in way, self-propelled glide. Ready Spider-Woman, then she gains aerial till the end of the round. Spider-Girl. After you play Spider-Girl from your hand, stun and confuse a minion. Lots of different heroes with the Avenger keywords. We've seen combat training before, gives you +1 attack. The TAC team, which is one we've seen from other decks. It's in the core set as well. Pressing the advantage. You deal 2 attack to an enemy. If that enemy is stunned or confused, draw 1 card. Oh, it's a shame. That's T'Challa. You are in Wakanda now. It's very sad to hear the passing of Chadwick Boseman in the last couple of days. The actor who plays Black Panther in the movie passed away, which is very, very sad. So yeah, he'll be immortalized in not just cards, but in the films to come. Piercing Strike, deal 3 damage to an enemy. This attack gains piercing, very handy as well if someone's got tough status cards. There he is, Spider-Man. After you play Spider-Man from your hand, remove 3 threat from a side scheme. That's also very handy as well, particularly if the schemes come in play. Your hero gains 1 thwart for heroic intuition. Skilled Investigator. After a side scheme is defeated, exhaust the... That's Daredevil, that guy. That's Matt Mercer. Daredevil's cool. And then you've got 3 of those. Interrogation Room, which we've seen before in other decks. Clear the area. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat, then draw a card.
What does that look like?
It's like Iron Man. I think it is Iron Man, but it's a different mark suit. And then you've got Strength, Genius cards, all the rest of it. Uncertain Loyalties, which is the obligation for Jessica Drew. And then you've got the Viper, who's the villain. While the Viper is engaged with you, your hand size is reduced by 1. Well, if you had a massive hand size, I guess it wouldn't be too much of an issue. The Viper's Ambition, you place an additional threat here, and it gives you an extra hazard card or encounter card you have to deal with. Hydra Regular, Hail Hydra, Treachery card. Each Hydra minion engaged with a hero attacks that hero. Each player who was not attacked this way searches a Hydra encounter deck for a Hydra minion and puts it in play, engage with them, and then shuffle the encounter deck. Ouch. You do not want to draw that card when there's lots of Hydra enemies in play. That would be very bad. Particularly for this campaign mode, which I'm excited to get into as well.
And that's the deck called Spider-Woman.
That is the deck of Spider-Woman. All right, so most of this now is going to be to do with the villains, the bad guys. We've saved the best till last, I think, because the bad guys are what it's all about. Let's have a look, because it looks like as we go through the packs, we'll actually do them in chronological order, so to speak. So, warning folks, spoilers ahead if you haven't figured out already. This is Crossbones. 1 attack, but he has this little star icon. While Crossbones has a weapon attachment, his attacks gain piercing, which means anyone who's got the tough status card isn't going to be affected. That's this version 1. Hit points 12, and then we go to 14 and even more crazy damage, and then villain 3. More attack, reveal the top card of the experimental weapons deck. It's a whole new deck that comes into play here. A whole new deck for this game. Attack on Mount Athena. It is 1 threat. There's 3 on the main scheme here. This is 1B. So that's the prep on the other side there. No, that's 6 per player. That's how many threat that go onto the that they have to get on the card for the villains to win the game. 2B, 3B, the gateway. This is all final stage. Complete. The players lose the game if this one is completed. Crossbows machine gun. Nasty. Uses 2 ammo counters. When your Crossbones attacks, you remove 1 ammo counter from this card and discard the top card of the encounter deck. Take indirect damage equal to the number of boost icons on the card. Ouch. Crossbows armor. Gives him 1 extra scheme and 1 extra attack. Then you got Hydra Bombers, which we've seen before. Fully automatic. When revealed, surge or discard cards from the top of the deck. Hard as nails. Give the villain a tough status card, so you need Hawkeye to get through those piercing with those piercing shots. and different boost options. Raiding the Armory. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a weapon attachment is discarded and then reveal that card instead. Then you have Crossbones Assault, which Crossbones activates against the player who defeated this scheme when defeated. So even when you defeat the scheme, he comes out and attacks you. There's a couple of those in there. Cornered Staff. When revealed, discard one card from the top of the encounter deck. Place one additional threat here for each boost icon on the card defeated this way. Laser rifles. There's all sorts of crazy experimental tech. Energy shields. Power gauntlets. Exosuit attached to the villain, which gives them... you can spend resources to discard the card. You've got to spend an energy resource, a science resource, an aggression resource. Then you've got Absorbing Man. So this is the second villain. He gains the trait of each environment in place. There's another new set of cards. Environments. There's 2 and 3 in the first phase. 14 hit points, 15 hit points, 16 hit points. None shall pass. These are just really threatening cards. So this is interesting too because it goes up 1 per... after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, place 1 delay counter here, and then it goes up by 2 per investigator per player each time. I've been playing too much Arkham Horror. I keep saying investigator instead of hero. See, environments, dense forest, it's a wood. After Absorbing Man makes an undefended attack against you, take 1 indirect damage. 2 instead if there are 5 or more delay counters on the main scheme. Put this card into play for a boost. Snowy Hillside. Rocky Outcrop, Abandoned Facility. Then you've got the Ball and Chain Weapon. Stall Tactics for Spider-Man. Look at that, look. Spider-Man's coming out and you've got... They're cool. Swinging Stone. It looks a bit like the Thing, I reckon. A Steel Kicks, he absorbs the power, so now he's all metal. See? Charlotte just wants to get into it and start playing, I think. Don't you, bub? Yeah. So of the 2 heroes, what do you reckon? You've got Hawkeye. I'm just going to skim through these cards because they're cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very dangerous. Do you think you want to do Spider-Woman or Hawkeye? What do you think?
Well, Hawkeye can shoot the crossbones, so maybe
maybe.
Hawkeye.
You went Hawkeye? He's got some cool abilities with his arrows, doesn't he?
Well, Hawkeye is cool, and Spider-Woman too. I just don't know which one to play with.
Whoa, Absorbing Man gains the Ice, Metal, Stone and Wood traits. And then you've got Taskmaster. Look at that skull face.
That's spooky.
He's a muscly and scary guy. Hit points 13. Up to 14, 15, and then more damage. And then he's got Hunting Down the Heroes, which is a forced response. Stop resolving step 1 of the villain phase. Each player in hero form must choose to either place 1 threat here or take 1 damage.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, it looks like he only has the 1 main scheme. Oh, Moon Knight. Hero for hire. After you play Moon Knight from your hand, spend a wild resource to draw 2 cards. Shang-Chi. Hero for hire. So it makes me wonder whether you can bring people in to play. White Tiger. Elektra. Now, Elektra's part of the Daredevil world. And she had her own movie as well, which was okay. It wasn't the most amazing thing in the world. And then you've got Hydra Hunter, again, which we had a look at before. So those are the first stack of cards for Crossbones. So then we move back onto Hydra Hunter again. Then we've got Taskmaster's Sword. All of his attacks gain piercing. That's a cool picture. He's a nasty looking guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's the main villain of the new... I think he's the main villain of the new Black Widow movie coming out soon too. He's got a big shield. Oh, there you go. See, there's Black Widow. Look at his eye. He's like, hey baby.
He looks scary.
That's
like
his photographic reflexes card. Mimicry. Look, he's using his shield, same as Captain America. More treachery. Hunted by Hydra. Incite 1, that's one of the new keywords. When this card is revealed, place 1 threat on the main scheme. Each player in hero form takes 1 damage and discard a card at random from their hand. That's not good. Captured by Hydra. When revealed, place 1 random set aside captive ally face down beneath this scheme. So now we're going to start getting people captured by the enemies as well. Whoa, and there's like 4 or 5 of these. Wow. Training camp. After a minion enters play, give it a tough... Wow! Every time a minion comes in, they get a tough status card, which means they get like an extra life. That's not good at all. Oh, new villain. Zola. Android. See, look, he's actually like a robot dude, see?
Yeah, and he's in the front cover as well.
Yeah, that's it. And he has a retaliate value of 1. His second value, retaliate 1. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for the test subjects. And he's got 16 points per player. The Island of Dr. Zola, forced response. There's a lot of stuff going on here. 1 test counter here. If there are 3 or more test counters here, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until the minion is discarded. Put that minion into play with the first player and remove the counters from the scheme. Mad Doctor. 8 per player. 3 or more test counters here, discards cards from the test from the same before. The Ultimate Bioservant. Wow, that guy's creepy. Look.
Oh my gosh.
What even is that? He's losing teeth and he looks like he's made up of junk. It's like something we built out of the recycling bin.
He looks like the recycling bin.
Starts with toughness and he's also got 1 attack for each attachment on him as well. Wow, so he's going to get superpower. And there's quite a few of them. Zola's Mutate. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a tech attachment is discarded. Attach that card to Zola's Mutate. And if you boost, you shuffle him into the deck so he never gets discarded. And a Berserk Mutant. No, that looks nasty.
That looks like just the one we had.
Yeah, and if you bring him out, you place 1 test counter on the main scheme. For each test counter on the main scheme, Zola gets +1 scheme and +1 attack for this activation. Wow. Defensive programming. Attach to the minion with the most remaining hit points without another copy of defensive program attached. If you cannot, this card gains Surge. Attached minion gets +2 hit points and gains the guard trait, which means you can't attack the main villain until they're defeated.
Yes.
Wow.
Ooh.
Whoa, look at that dude. Pain inhibitors. Attached to the minion with the most remaining hit points without another copy of pain inhibitors. Attached minion gets +2 hit points and gains retaliate 1. Neurological implants for Zola. Attachment and gets +2 hit points. Wow. Mind Rays. Look at that. He's taken over Captain America. Confused or stunned. There's a few of those in there too. Technological enhancements. Insight 1. When revealed, place 1 test counter on the main scheme. Oh my goodness. I'm going to get into this. We're gonna play. Hydra Prison side scheme. If you need to, folks, hit the pause button so you can read the cards. You should be able to see them reasonably clear. When we steal test subjects, when defeated, the first player discards cards from the top of the counter deck until they discard a minion. Reveal that minion. Zola's crazy experiments. The Mad Doctor never grows tired of experimenting on his victims. He is a nasty man. My goodness. And then we've got, here he is. Here's the man we all came to see.
Red Scale.
Look at that sword and that, I'd say it's more of a knife, but you're on the pointy end of it. And he's got a gun as well. And he just looks...
He looks like blood.
He's just nasty. Nasty.
He looks like red, like blood.
Yeah. You haven't watched Captain America. We'll have to get that out again. Red Skull gains 1 attack for each side scheme in play. Wow. And then he's got 12 hit points per player. Only 12 to start. Oh, wow. Number 2 jumps from 12 to 16.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's very bad.
And when he's revealed, everyone gets an encounter card off the bat. He has 20 points per player.
Yikes.
Wow. So even when we're soloing Red Skull, he's going to take some serious whooping. Main scheme, the rise of Red Skull. Plans to conquer the world with the power of the Reality Stone. He uses his strategic genius to keep you busy while he works towards his goal. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, reveal the top card of the side scheme deck and put that into play. So by putting side schemes in, he's going to get extra attack points. So if he's in phase 3 here, and every side scheme gives him +1 attack, if he's got 3 or 4 side schemes in play, it's going to be 6 attack every turn. New World Hydra. If this scheme is completed, players lose the game. Requires 11 threat per player.
And this is 2.
And that's just bringing out side schemes. Wow, then we've got the Sleeper, and we've still got another pack of cards to get through as well. Minion.
This is going to be a long video.
5 damage per player. That's how much health points this guy has. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Exo soldiers. And they start with toughness. Oh my gosh. Red Skull's Luger attached to Red Skull gives him +1 attack and +1 scheme. Red Skull's attacks gain piercing and ranged. Oh my gosh. Red Skull's right hook. Look at him trying to punch on with Captain America. Red Skull gains Retaliate 1. Spend all those resources to discard that card. And there's 2 of them. Of course there is. Of course there's 2 of them in the deck.
And I was getting to the Red Skull deck.
Alright.
Oh, I've been waiting for this all day.
Alright, so we've got one last pack of cards we're going to go through. We are nearly done, folks. Lots of plastic. We've got here Master Strategist. Ooh, boost icons for both of them. Attached to Red Skull, Forced Interrupt. When Red Skull activates, give him an additional boost card for each side scheme in play. Then discard this card. Wow. So if there's 3 or 4 or 2 or 3 side schemes in play and you pull this card, you have to then boost 2 more cards. So you could potentially have a scheme or an attack where you're doing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage in one go if with all those attachments. That's crazy. And of course, there's multiple copies of that card. Twisted Reality, Insight, and attached to a side scheme. When attached to the side scheme is defeated, deal the first player an encounter card. Bitter Rivals with Captain America. Exhaust a character you control for each side scheme in play. Wow. Spreading Lies. When revealed, place 2 threat on a scheme in play. Give Red Skull a tough status card. Infinite Power. He's punching Hulk. How does it even work? How can he punch Hulk? He's Red Skull, he can do what he likes. Give Red Skull a tough status card. Red Skull schemes or attacks you. The Red House. It's like the White House, but taken over by the Red Skull and Hydra crew. When a character thwarts this side scheme, they may use their attack instead of their thwart. That's handy if you've got a high attack like Hulk. The Sleeper Awakened. Look, this guy's coming out of the ground.
Oh, that's spooky as well.
Put the Sleeper into play, engage with the first player. The Sleeper is defeated, remove this card from the game, which means it can't come back out. Prison Camps. Ouch, that's not very nice. I suppose that's what Red Skull was all about, wasn't it? Sense of the Past. When defeated, each player chooses up to 3 cards in their discard pile and shuffles them into their deck. That's actually quite good. Hydra Reinforcements. Mass Chaos. Each player discards the top 5 cards of their deck and places 1 threat here for each different type of resource they discarded this way. Wow. Flame Shot. Look at that. Flame Soldiers. Yeah, we don't want to come across those guys. And these guys are going to be more minions than anything else. The Jet Troopers. That Hail Hydra Treachery card again, which we saw. God, I wonder how big the encounter piles are going to be for these things. Look at that knife. Now, this is part of the Weapon Master set. So we've got Hydra Assault sets, Weapon Master. Just want to make sure I've gone back through here. Yeah, so we've gone through the Red Skull cards. These are all little add-on sets I think that you can add in to either increase the difficulty or not. Weapon Master, Hydra Sidearms, Weapon Master, Treachery. Then you've got Hydra Patrols, Hydra Regulars, they're cannon fodder. Hydra Soldier, a bit tougher, they've got the Guard keyword. Then we've got another side scheme for Hydra Patrol. Each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion, puts it to play, engage with them. And then you've got some basic cards as well. Hydra Campaign. So these are basic cards that can only be used in the campaign for the Rise of Red Skull. You can't use them in your normal decks. Setup. Hero action. Discard this card and remove it from the campaign log. Ready your hero and deal 5 damage from that hero. Tactical Scanner. Tech card. Discard this card and remove from the campaign log. Draw 5 cards. Discard this card and remove them from your campaign log. Search your deck and discard pile for an ally. Put it into play and give them a tough status card. Wow. That's an emergency teleporter. Look at this laser cannon. Look at all the ammo. Lots of damage.
Yep.
Deal 5 damage to the villain and each enemy engaged with you as well. Wow. Improved Thwart upgrade. You get +2 hit points and your hero gets 1 thwart. There you go. So Red Skull being tougher is not necessarily a bad thing because you have got extra abilities you can improve. Improve attack upgrade. You get 1 hit point and you get 1 attack. After you defeat a minion, exhaust this card to draw 1. Get +3 hit points, 1 hero defense, draw a card. These are cool. Get 4 hit points, also gets +1 recovery for your alter ego. Alright, obligation. Exhaust your alter ego and spend a science resource to discard this card. Expert campaign set. Medical emergency. So these are all expert level stuff that you can really, like if you want a super challenge, your hero gets -1 thwart, 1 attack and -1 defense as well. Wow. Set 2 alter ego action. They're the same ones, but I think they're going to do more damage. Exhaust your alter ego. Spend science
there's a lot of these.
That's very Matrixy. Maybe the Matrix is owned by Hydra. Maybe that's what that's about.
Yeah.
Maybe. Medical emergency again. These are all the same style of cards, but they're in different campaign sets. So it must be depending on which campaign which part of the campaign you're in, which set you use. Hand size is reduced by 1. Anti-hero propaganda, and that's the final card. My gosh, there's quite a lot to get through, isn't there?
Yes, and that was a lot.
So you reckon you want to take Hawkeye on? I like the idea of being able to mix decks with Spider-Woman.
Yes.
Decisions. All right, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about our thoughts and see where we go from there. And there you have it. That is the contents of the Rise of Red Skull Deluxe expansion for Marvel Champions, the card game. There's a little bit of reading to do in the rule book in terms of the campaign, new keywords, new things to learn. For those of you who have or are familiar with the Marvel Champions card game, there is a lot to remember, lots of different rules and things. It is very, once you start playing, it's easy to understand, but it is quite complex when you first look at it and go, I have no idea how to make this work. This is just adding in so much more content, not just with the 250 odd cards, the 2 new heroes, the 5 villains, the campaigns, all that sort of stuff. You effectively can just take one of the villains, use their encounter sets and things, and literally go at it as a solo standalone scenario. But the idea that you can complete an overarching campaign, I think over many sessions, is pretty awesome. And the fact that you get those upgrade cards for your hero, so instead of just having the same set hero and just going through each scenario, particularly as you work your way up to someone like this guy, yeah, I think that's cool. Yeah. You get to beef up your resources and things as well, and it adds a whole new layer of complexity to what is already a really great game.
But I just still don't know who I'm going to play as.
Well, that's okay. You don't necessarily have to take one of these guys out. You could take someone from the... You could play as Hulk. You could play as Thor. You could play as Black Widow. You could play as all sorts of people. And then obviously coming out, this is the first deluxe expansion. The next deluxe expansion is due out in February, and that is the Guardians of the Galaxy expansion with Groot, Rocket, all sorts of other crazy things going on there. I think it involves the Collector, which is awesome.
And this is the second one of the Marvel Champions.
This is the first deluxe expansion, yes. There's a lot of hero packs and scenario packs that have come out. There's another 4 heroes coming out as well. So if you haven't already, you can jump on the website and pre-order those. This is now shipping. It's release day, so by all means, get on board. What's your preference? Hawkeye, Spider-Woman, someone entirely different? What's your aspect of choice, I guess? By all means, pop them in the comments below. If you have any questions about the cards here, let us know. Thank you once again to all our Patreon subscribers who help us make all these amazing videos. We really appreciate your support. And you can jump on board and get early access to all sorts of content as well as a heap of rewards by jumping on patreon.com/hbgamingau. You can always jump on the website to www.hbgaming.com.au, and you can also email us at orders@hbgaming.com.au if you have questions you don't want publicly listed on this YouTube video. Until then, I think Charlotte's just chomping at the bit, so we're going to break out the core set, break out the playmats, and we're going to decide which heroes we're going to be and which villains we're going to take on, and we're going to explore the campaign mode. If you've got a copy of this one and you're playing through the campaign, we'd love to know how you're faring, because it doesn't look like it's going to be easy. But until then, folks, get back to the table, play more games. We'll see you back at this table very, very soon. And thank you as always for watching. Bye for now.